Hello everyone, welcome to TalentSprint. So in this session of biology, we shall discuss the topic called cell structure. Moving on to cell structure. So as you know, the cell is a very basic unit of any living organism. So it is a fundamental structure and functional unit of all the living organisms, both plant and animals. So all organisms are composed of cells. It's a very basic unit. Like elements have atoms, it is a very basic unit of an element, atom. So cell is also the very basic unit of living organisms. So if we have a only single cell, these organisms are called as unicellular organisms. If we have many cells, those organisms are called as multicellulars. Human beings are multicellular organisms, right? So the cell was first discovered and named by a person called Robert Hooke in the year 1665, and the study of cells and tissues is also called as histology. It is a branch of anatomy we have seen in the first topic, that is introduction to biology. Moving on to the cell structure. So this is a very basic diagram of a cell. The very basic unit of a cell is the nucleolus, which is covered by nucleus. Okay, and nucleus is surrounded by a material called cytoplasm. In this cytoplasm material, all these endoplasmic reticulum, mitochondria, Golgi bodies, vacuoles, chloroplasts, lysosomes, all these survive, ribosomes, all these survive in this material called cytoplasm. And the cell is covered by a tough membrane called cell membrane, and it is further covered by the last one called cell wall. Okay, generally cell wall is present only in plants but not in animals. Okay, every organism has cell membrane but not cell wall. Cell wall is present only in plants. Moving on to this terminology, whatever we have seen just now in the figure, now we shall see what are those individually. So first is nucleolus. It is an important membrane found inside the nucleus. It plays a vital role in the production of cells' ribosomes. Okay, we shall see later what is ribosomes. So first, nucleus. It is a very important organelle of a cell as it controls the complete activity of this cell. Okay, suppose this is a nucleus. Okay, and further it has a nucleolus. Okay, so nucleus is a very basic to a cell which controls the complete activity of this cell. Okay, moving on to the nuclear membrane. The bilayer membrane which protects the nucleus from surrounding around it and acts as a barrier between the cell nucleus and other organs of a cell. Suppose this is a cell, we have a nucleus, right? So this is the nuclear membrane which protects the nucleus. Okay, next is cytoplasm. So what is cytoplasm? It is a material which is surrounded around the nucleus. Yes, so it is a membrane which protects the cell by keeping the cell organelles separate from each other. Okay, in this membrane all these materials are present of the cell. This helps to keep a cell in the stability. Cytoplasm is a site where many vital biochemical reactions takes place. Okay, it is generally a material which is surrounding the nucleus of a cell. Next, what are chromosomes? Generally we hear chromosomes, right? So it is made up of DNA. What does DNA stands for? Deoxyribose nucleic acid, which contains our genetic information. So genetic information is generally stored in our DNA, which are present in the chromosomes. Human beings have 23 pairs of chromosomes, that is 46 chromosomes. Okay, which we inherit our characteristics from our parents or ancestors, etc. Next, what is endoplasmic reticulum? It helps in the movement of materials around the cell. So suppose I want to move something into the cell, so endoplasmic reticulum will help. It contains an enzyme that helps in building molecules and manufacturing of proteins, and this organelle is mainly for the storage and secretion. Okay, next, what are ribosomes? Ribosomes, I've already told you, it is important for the protein synthesis. Why we need to synthesize the protein? Because proteins are the complex molecules, they must be broken down. Okay, we get the proteins from our food, but they must be broken down and cell must take and it must function, right? Required functions must be done by the cell, so that's why they must be broken down. So ribosomes help in the protein synthesis. Next is mitochondria, the very repeated question, the powerhouse of the cell. It is called as the powerhouse of the cell. Why it is called as powerhouse? Because it contains number of enzymes and proteins that helps process the carbohydrates and fats obtained from the food. Okay, generally if I take photosynthesis, during photosynthesis it prepares the food called glucose, C6H12O6. So it must be converted into smaller molecules. Okay, so here this mitochondria helps like that. Okay, next is Golgi bodies. It helps in the movement of materials within the cell. So endoplasmic reticulum, for outside the cell, it will help the movement outside the cell, but inside the cell, for the movement of materials, Golgi bodies will help. Next is lysosomes, a very repeated question, which are called as suicidal bags of the cell. So why they are called suicidal bags? Because it helps in cell renewal and breakdown of old cell parts. So old cell parts, whenever they broke down due to age or maturity, so new cells will be renewed because of the lysosomes. Next, vacuoles. It helps plants in maintaining its shape, and also it stores food, water and waste, etc. These are called vacuoles. Next is cell wall. Cell wall is not present in every organism, but generally it is present in plants, bacteria, fungi and algae, but it is not present in animals and protozoa. Every organism has cell membrane, but every organism doesn't have cell wall. Remember this. Okay, it prevents the entry and exits. That is why we need the cell membrane. After that we have, this is a cell membrane. Again it is covered by a cell wall. Cell wall is present only in plants, bacteria, fungi and algae, but not in animals and protozoa. So this is all for this session in cell structure part 1. We shall meet in the part 2 of cell structure. Thank you.